Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're doing the Allgäu Vertical, covering almost 200 feet of elevation gain just within 2.2 miles. Let's go. All right, so I just picked up the bib and the bag, the drop bag. We're gonna fill with our clothes for the top. Right here's the bib. I forgot the pins though, so I'll have to get back. I mean, I have to go back anyways to drop off my bag, but definitely need the pins. And then yeah, now we're changing and be ready in time. Oh yeah, one thing I should also mention is that it's almost 6 p.m. right now. The race starts at 6:45 p.m. So it's gonna be a night race. Headlamp, very important, because I just lost mine today, or I didn't bring it, I guess. I had to buy a new one today. And then we also got the poles. Alrighty, let's talk a little bit about the course before it gets too dark. So for the course, we're gonna start over here. As you can see, the start line is right there. And we're gonna take a left all the way to the end of this. Then we're gonna cut back up to the right, basically right where you can see that little hill, or big hill, ends right there. We're gonna cut back across and then continue onwards right along this line basically. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's about actually warmer than expected, probably like 4 degrees Celsius-ish with the wind. Feels a little colder, but I mean, that's still like 30, like high 30s, mid 30s, I guess, in Fahrenheit. So that's not too bad. Yeah, let me put the bib on. 120, and then we'll get ready for a race. And yeah, as I said before, around 2,000 feet, so 600 and something meters of elevation. So that's quite a lot in just 2.2 miles. I'm still thinking about, should I put these on, like for my shoes to get more grip or not? I also have the poles, so I guess I'll just see what most people are doing and then just follow along, I guess. Okay, change of plan. I just talked to a woman that actually she was as confused as I was. So what we're doing is, since the first, I think 500 to 800 meters from what I heard, is gonna be like pavement basically. It's not gonna be the ski slope from what I heard. Since that is the case, I'm not gonna put these on right in the beginning, but I'm gonna wait until we get on the ski slope, basically right at the top of that ridgeline that I showed you earlier. And then we're gonna put these on basically because another guy told us that last year was very icy once you got on there. So yeah, therefore don't wanna miss them. So that's the plan for now. As you can hear behind me, it's 10 minutes till race time. I guess I'm ready. We'll see how it goes. The first 400 meter from the start line basically leads you on like a concrete road into the woods. It's super steep right from the start. Like, I don't even know how to describe the gradient. It must be like 20% at least. Maybe I'm completely off, but that's what it felt like. After 200 meters, you get into the woods basically. It's like this little forest. And then you take a hard right, basically a 180-degree turn back towards the ski slope. Then after like another 300 meters-ish, I would say, you get back to the ski slope. That's where I put on the spikes for my shoes. That took about 30 seconds. Honestly, when you're completely red, like when the lactate is just building up, it's hard to do anything. Even stopping and trying to put on the spikes is super hard, but I guess it worked out. Then you continue up the ski slope. The ski slope basically varies in gradient. You have these super steep parts where you're like, how am I gonna make it up here? And this is basically how it continues. After about 0.9 miles, so I would say like 1.5 kilometers, you get to this first house basically where the gondola stops, and I was like, yes, this is the finish line. Like, here I'm gonna take the gondola back down. But then it wasn't. It was just the first one basically. So after this, you continue basically up the ski slope. I'm super glad I brought the spikes. Like, the ski slope was so steep, like no way I would have had any traction with just the trail running shoes. Like, I would have had to walk like sideways basically. and that's like that would have taken forever. But I was basically in the red zone the whole time. Let me check my heart rate. Every now and then we hit like a flatter segment, and yeah, that basically allowed me to get the heart rate down a little bit, maybe into the 160s. But the next steeper segment, it would be right up there again. I just tried to push, but honestly, that first house or the first station that seemed like the finish line kind of broke me mentally. And after that, we hit like the steepest part. But I mean, it was fairly easy to push through it because it was only 2.2 kilometers, but still just an insane race and a crazy experience. If you ever get the chance, I would definitely recommend this race. After 2.2 kilometers, you hit the finish line. Honestly, the last 400 meters were absolutely terrible. I can't even describe how terrible they were. Yeah, in the end, it took me just over 33 minutes. I think when I checked the results from the previous year, people were like, the fastest people were like 22, 23 minutes, which is just insane to me now that I did this. And then the slowest people, or like the last person, came in at around 1.5 hours. At the finish line, I had some gummy bears. I basically changed my clothes or put like an extra layer on. I didn't feel like waiting around at the top for a whole while, so took the first gondola back down. Just got on the gondola. Right here, you can see it. At the finish line. Got one all for myself. This right here is what I'm talking about with the first stop, the house you saw. Basically, the gondola stops. The gondola stops here, but obviously it wasn't the finish line. It was only the first of two, and we're gonna continue making our way back down the mountain. I was in the 190 area the whole time, so that's kind of crazy. Here you can also ski. The ski slope is being prepared for the next day. That's really cool. Kind of insane how it's going up and down this steep. Yeah, I just made it down back into the station. You can see it right here. Finished the race just over 34 minutes with 1,800 feet of elevation and 1.2 miles total. So that's a lot of elevation in that short of a distance. And I definitely felt it. It was super fun. One thing that pissed me off a lot, I gotta say, was my headlamp that just went out halfway up the mountain. I just bought it today, so I don't know why the batteries were empty, but whatever. We deal with it, I guess. We made it back to the valley station, basically, all the way at the bottom. As always, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.